Okay, so I'm back with another video. Um, I am using the iPad for this, so that's why it looks a little bit different. I usually use my iPhone, but I ran out of storage for that, so I had to upgrade a little bit. Um, Please excuse how I look. I'm actually very, very, very sick. I think I have the flu, but I don't know. So this is part two of me working at Starbucks. I don't honestly remember where I left off on the first video, but I did remember after the video I kind of did leave out a lot of things to talk about just because I didn't have that much storage on my phone, so the video kind of stopped by itself. Um, but a few of the things that I did forget to mention was pay rate. When I got hired, it was in September, and I was offered, I think it was $10, $10 or $11. I know it was a little bit less than the job that I have now. And I accepted it only because at the time the manager did end up telling me that they were getting a raise. Everyone in the entire company was getting a raise of $14 in October. And I was like, $14? Yes, bitch. I was like, yeah, so that was fine with me. But of course, I didn't even stay that long for me to even get the raise. But whatever. As far as working for Starbucks, they do offer a lot of great things for their associates and their workers. They have like, I forgot what each one is called, but they have something where, like, if you need to borrow money or whatever, your manager is allowed to give you like say if your check got lost or whatever, or you need to get paid out a certain day because you got to pay your rent or you're about to get evicted. Your manager can loan you the money a little bit ahead of time, but of course you'll have to pay that back once you get paid. They have stuff where, like, if you're going through financial problems or things that you can't really control, as far as, like, you get it flooded out your house, natural disasters, you're about to get evicted and you need help, you can call the HR department and they will loan you some money. I think she said loan you up to like $12,000, something like that. But it's a certain amount that you don't have to pay back. They just give you the money and it's yours to keep, and you do whatever you want to do with it. And that's it. You don't have to pay it back. They do have they're affiliated with a college, so you are allowed to go to school free unless you want to, go to school there on campus. But you can take like online class, stuff like that. It's totally free tuition while you're still a Starbucks partner. They pay for your schooling. I'm trying to think what else. They had a lot of great things. Oh, they had like what was it, coffee bean stock or something like that, where after a certain amount of years of you working there, a certain amount of your, well, I don't think it's of your check, but a certain amount of money gets put into Starbucks stock. So even, if you've been there for X amount of years and then you decide to like quit or whatever the case may be, that money is still yours. You made it through the stock. That's your money that you had built, that you saved up in the stock, and that's yours to keep. And there's a lot more other great affiliations and great partnerships that they have with a bunch of other companies. They have a lot of great benefits. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they literally have a lot of great benefits. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry, I'm sick and my nose is running. But they do have a lot of great benefits. That was the one thing that I was actually happy about. I was excited about that because who doesn't want great benefits when you're working? And I was only part-time. But yeah. Oh, as far as you getting paid, you do get an hourly pay rate, of course, like any other job. Tips. I'm going to explain tips to you guys because my manager didn't really explain it to me, so I didn't really know, which is why some funny shit happened when I went to pick up my last check. I'll let y'all guys know that by the end of the video. But tips. You do get tips. Now, the way tips go, oh, mind you, you do get paid every week. It's a weekly paying job. It's not every 2 weeks or nothing like that. Get paid every week. I got paid every single Friday. Tips. I was told that, yeah, we do get tips, and they're split amongst everyone in the store, as far as associates and whatnot. Baristas. I keep saying associates like it's a retail job. Baristas. So you will get tips. They will split it between, whatever, they'll tally up the tips for the week, and however much tips they made, they'll split it between everyone in the store. I was fine with that. I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, okay, that's like extra money, whatever. The way it was told to me, I thought that it was going to come with either within my check, or it would just come like a separate check. You know what I mean? Like it would be my hourly pay, and then like, you know, at the bottom it'll be like, you know, tips made or whatever the case may be on my check. So I would check my checks. So that I got paper checks. I hadn't signed up for direct deposit. So I would look at my actual pay stub and I'll be like, okay, well, I don't see my tips. But I didn't really think much of it because I'm like, you know, maybe they're just backed up or whatever the case may be. I'll probably get it in a separate check. Like I said, I never ever thought anything about it. So please keep in mind, I did quit. I was working there from the beginning of September, I want to say, or maybe like the middle of September into like the beginning of October. I literally was only there for like 2.5, 3 weeks, which I might have mentioned in my previous video. But I'm going to tell you guys how I actually went about quitting. So my store manager, she was actually a real ratchet ghetto ass bitch. Sorry to say it like that, but she was. I'm calling it kettle black. I'm calling it how I see it. That's how she was. And in my personal opinion, she honestly was never in the store. From the moment I got hired, I might have seen her twice or 3 times, and it would be like when I'm about to leave, she would be coming in, or I would see her for like an hour and a half before I had to leave. But I never really spent much time with her after that hiring process, after the interview. And then eventually she ended up going on vacation for like a week and a half or whatever. So I didn't see her. Now keep in mind, I was already going through like back and forth about me quitting, just because it was becoming way too much for me. The hours, having to wake up at 3 in the morning every day to be at the store at 5. We opened up at 5:30. We opened up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And it was just becoming way too much. I got off at like 10, went home, got about maybe 2 hours of sleep, and then had to be at my other job. And then I would be there until like 8 at night, and then had to try to get as much sleep as possible to wake up again at 3 in the morning. So it was too much. It was like killing me. I was tired all the time. I didn't have a social life. I mean, the extra money was good, but I was tired. Like, I just couldn't do it. And so I was already having that issue of me going back and forth, like, well, this is kind of too much. Like, I wasn't expected to have to deal with all of this. But then on the side, I had supervisors that were honestly kind of, in my opinion, they were rude as fuck. Like, they just had an attitude with me all the time. Like, I'm brand new. I don't really know much of what I'm doing. I'm kind of learning as I go. You have to have patience with me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you kind of just, and then you threw me in the morning rush, so it's not like I had real time to learn my craft, you know what I mean? Because it's so busy. It's like everybody kind of just like, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I'm just like, okay, like, let me breathe. You know what I mean? But a lot of the supervisors, they just didn't have time to teach me, or time for me to just learn and get into my own pace. Like, it was just very fast paced, and that's understandable. I get it, but I feel like you do need to have some kind of, what's the word? Like some kind of emotion towards me. That's not the word, but you know what I mean. But yes, so the day that I quit, that I officially decided to quit, it was a Wednesday. Yeah, was it a Wednesday? No, it was a Tuesday. Because I only worked certain days because I did have my other job. So I didn't work Thursdays. And I didn't work Thursdays, Fridays. I think that's it. Thursday and Friday, I want to say. Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, I didn't work. Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, I didn't work. Which that was fine with me. I was like, okay, whatever. Because I worked those days at my other job. Plus the days that, you know, the regular days, like Monday, Tuesday, I also worked at my other jobs while I was working at Starbucks. So it was a Tuesday. I know it was a Tuesday because I was scheduled for a Wednesday shift. That was my last shift of the week, before I had to come back again for the next week. So I was like, okay, cool, like, whatever. That was fine with me. So it was a Tuesday. I'm working. I got up that morning. I had forgot that there was a morning meeting the night before. Sorry, hold on again. I had forgot that there was a morning meeting the night before. So I get to work, and there's a bunch of associates still in there at 3 in the morning. And I was like, oh yeah, there was like a night shift, overnight shift. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I walk in, and my store manager's there. I'm like, okay. I was a little shocked to see her because I hadn't seen her like a week and a half because she was on vacation. But mind you, that morning, like right when I woke up at 3 a.m., I was like, you know what, I can't do this. I'm over this job. I sent her an email that morning, like, I lied. I lied and was like, oh, good morning, such and such. I'm just letting you know that I got accepted working for Apple, this, that, and the third, and I can't do 3 jobs, so I have to let this one go. Just some bullshit excuse because I just didn't want to work there anymore. And I emailed her that same morning, early, 3 a.m. Tuesday morning. So I got to work. I figured she would have read her emails because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do, or she would eventually read it at some point. I greeted her. I said good morning. She said hi. Wasn't anything like, you know, off about it. So I was just like, okay, whatever. What about my job? Also keep in mind, there were other baristas there as well as my store manager, my supervisor, and then come to find out, I think it was like an assistant manager from another Starbucks. I think she was, and all of the baristas left. So it was just the supervisor, the manager, and then some other supervisor or some other girl from another store. They were the only ones there that stayed. So I was like, okay, whatever. Doing my job. These women are in the lobby, like standing right across from our sorry, sitting right across from our view. So while we're setting up and whatnot and getting things ready, you just see them sitting and staring at us, like talking shit, whispering back to each other, just sitting there. And this happened the entire time of my shift. Like, they did not move from that seat. They sat there, they whispered, they talked shit about us, they laughed, like, real loud, like, ratchet as fuck, laughing in the lobby, taking up seats. You're taking up customer seats. Like, why you can't do that in the back? Like, watch us from the cameras and do that in the back. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that out in the open when you have customers? It's early morning rush. People are coming in. We got a lot of college students who will sit and write their papers and drink their coffees. Like, you're taking up seats and you're taking up space, doing nothing. But okay. So I'm going about my day, yada yada yada, regular day, like whatever. It was about like an hour before I was supposed to leave, like an hour and a half to 2 hours before I was about to leave, and one of the other supervisors comes in because he was doing like a midday. Now he was so chill, like I fucked with him so much. He was so chill. So I told them, because I had already told them like a week ago that I was thinking about quitting. So I told him the same day when he came in, and I was like, oh, you know, this week is going to be my last week. I already emailed such and such, let her know this and third. He was like, really? Like, you could tell he was so like not upset, but like he was just like, really? Like, you're really going to leave me? And I was like, yeah, like, it's not for me. I can't do it. I don't really enjoy it. He was like, you know, that's understandable. It's not for everybody. So he was like, well, do you mind if I go and tell the store manager? That way we could find coverage for you for the next 2 weeks, because my schedule was already made 2 weeks in advance. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I emailed her, but she didn't say much to me about it. So he was like, okay. So he goes to the back, tells her, I'm still working. And he comes back out and he's like, oh, she wants to speak to you when you're done. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine, whatever. I had like an hour and a half left of my work, and another supervisor comes up to me and she's like, oh, well, such and such said that you can leave early. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that was weird because I had like literally a whole hour left. But I was just like, okay, fine, like whatever. I was tired anyways. So she's sitting in the lobby, the store manager, she's sitting in the lobby still. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll leave. So I go clock out, and then I go speak to her. And she's just like, oh, so I got your email after hearing through the grapevine that you were leaving. And I'm just like, it wasn't meant for you to hear through anyone else. Like, that's why I sent you the email. I thought you checked your emails every morning. But yeah, I'm leaving. And she's like, well, yeah, that's fine. Just leave your apron and your hat. And I'm like, okay, fine. I took off the apron, took off the hat, gave it to her. And she goes, oh, you don't got to worry about coming in for your shift tomorrow. It's taken care of. Like, with an attitude. I'm just like, okay, like, I was doing you a favor to at least finish out my last day of the week. But fine, if you don't want me to come in, I don't have to come in. So she's like, yeah, you don't got to come in. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So keep in mind, we get paid every week. Now, I work. This is not my first job. I'm not dumb. I know exactly what I'm supposed to get paid. And the last week I was working, I was supposed to get a check for that week, for the previous week, and then that week that I worked was supposed to be coming in the next check. So I knew I had like 2 more checks to pick up. I'm not dumb. So the day I come and pick up my last check ever, like my last check ever, I go in, I'm like, oh hey, yada yada, like I'm saying hi to everyone and waiting for them to give me my check, and they're like, oh well, you know, maybe we'll see you again. I'm like, no you won't. I'm not coming to this location anymore. So I get my check and I'm outside, I'm opening it up. Now, I had worked, no lie, I literally had worked at least 15 hours that week. So I knew how much my check was supposed to be. Why I opened up my last fucking check and it's a $20 check. $20? No, I was not supposed to get no $20 fucking dollars. Like, what are you talking about? What? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? No, $20. I was so pissed. Like, I was pissed the fuck off. Like, are you kidding me right now? $20. So I started texting one of my coworkers like, oh, didn't I leave on such and such a day? Like, I was supposed to get paid this much. Why is my check only $20? And I had knew that the manager, they're able to change your timesheet. So I was like, this bitch had to have changed my timesheet, like, because that's ridiculous. $20. You telling me I only worked what, like 2.5 hours? No, bitch, I did not. Don't play me. Like, what? For the week? No. I was so pissed off. And then after I went to go pick up my check and I'm looking at it and I'm texting my coworker that worked there, she's like, well, did you at least pick up your tips too? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, pick up my tips? What do you mean by that? Like, I knew we got tips, but I didn't understand what she was asking me. And she's like, oh yeah, like, you're supposed to get your tips. I'm like, doesn't that come in your check? And she's like, no, they're supposed to give you your tips in cash every week. I'm like, this fucking job, I've been working here for like 2-3 weeks and nobody has given me my tips every week. So everybody else have been getting their tips in the store, but I have not been getting my tips. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? Like, I wanted to call HR so bad on this bitch and complain, but I was just like, you know what? Maybe this is just a sign from God that I'm not there anymore. I'm out of this job. Like, just not even the job, just I'm out of that location, like, because I was ready to go the fuck off on people. I had a supervisor that was like 7 months pregnant, working with a stink ass attitude, getting angry, rushing me. Like, I really want to curse that bitch out so bad, but I'm like, she's pregnant and I can't afford to have a big ass sty on my eyes. So I was just like, you know what, I don't care. I was gonna transfer to another location, but I was told that you had to wait 6 months in order to transfer to another location, and my ass was not gonna last those fucking 6 months there. Like, it was just no. But this is my video about working at Starbucks, my part 2, and what happened with my bum ass manager and my paycheck, and where's my money? Where's the rest of my money? Where's my money, Starbucks? Where's my money? But if you guys have any questions that I forgot to answer, please comment down below, and I don't mind answering them for you. I think I want to start a kind of like a, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh my god. Like an advice kind of, it's like advice videos or whatever you want to call them. So if you guys don't mind just emailing me whatever you guys need any advice in, if you need any questions answered, or if you just need someone to kind of like vent to, I definitely don't mind answering your emails. I will leave my email down below in the description box. So yeah, definitely send me your stories if you need my advice. I'm very honest. I'm gonna keep it real with you 100%. Whether you like it or not, I really don't care. I'm an Aquarius, and we keep it real no matter what. Clearly, as you can see from the way I always look at my videos, I don't give a shit. But yeah, definitely leave your stories down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave it down below. Video ideas, leave them down below. And I will see you guys later. But thank you for watching. Seriously, like, really, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any story that you want to tell me or you want me to do, like I said, let me know. But let me get out of here because I need to drink some tea. I sound horrible, but thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.